sound crazy, but more than $230 million of your taxpayer money may be used to pay lobbyists. Kentucky Congressman Brett Guthrie says stimulus money is being given out to programs in many states that then turn around and use that money to lobby the government. Congressman Guthrie is live with us to explain. Sir, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Shannon. Thanks for having me here today.
All right. How exactly is this working? I know that you had a hearing on the Hill and you confronted Secretary Kathleen Sebelius about this. What's the deal?
Well, what's happening there, there's a grant fund through the Health and Human Services. It comes from two sources. First, stimulus money, and now it's coming through the President's health care bill. The grants money to local entities, and they're taking this money and they are lobbying state and local governments for such things as taxes on soft drinks, zoning ordinances for fast food restaurants, and different things to deal with the health care. And the issue with that is the federal law expressly prohibits using hardworking taxpayer dollars to lobby any level of government. So Secretary Sebelius, without the express permission of Congress, so Secretary Sebelius came before my subcommittee, and her point was, and in the President's submitted bill, they actually strike that language to allow the local lobbying. And so my question to her was, well, it's been going on for since the stimulus bill over the last 3 years. We gave 25 specific examples. It's on the website of the recovery. Matter of fact, there's one specific, we use the recovery money for the purposes of finding sponsors for a bill to have a statewide smoking ban in California, and that's blatant lobbying, and it's expressly prohibited. And her position was the law only bans lobbying members of Congress, and she understood that, and that's what she believed. And I was surprised that her staff had let her go that direction, because it's clear, if there's any clear reading of the law, it's actually in the law. It's actually in Health and Human Services regulations that they can't use any hardworking taxpayer dollars for lobbying, and it's in OMB directives as well.
And you have asked the Secretary in a letter that you and others authored to her for an investigation into this. Have you gotten a response? Do you think that will happen?
We haven't got the response yet. It just happened, and I believe her that when she was standing before us, I read the law to her, and she said, my copy of the law in front of me, she says, well, I don't have it in front of me, I'll have to get back with you. So what we've asked her to do is go back and investigate how much money's been spent, first to cease and desist spending the money to lobby state and local governments, but also give us an interpretation back why they're doing it and accounting for the money. And we think that's fair for her to do. It's been a couple of weeks, and I do expect to hear a return back on her position.
All right, as you mentioned, she said that she thought that this was okay because the money was being used to lobby at the local level and the state level versus, as you mentioned, federal members of Congress.
Right.
Just to be clear, I mean, was that against the law? Was she misinformed about that, or was this...
I believe she was misinformed by her staff, because it is clearly against the law. It says members of Congress, any jurisdiction, and it says, or any public official on any legislation pending. So even if there's not I was in the Kentucky legislature, so even if they're talking about filing a bill in the Kentucky legislature, you can't hire lobbyists to go do that. So it's not just existing legislation or existing ordinances. You know, there's an example in Philadelphia. The mayor proposed a soft drink tax. And during the soft drink tax vote leading up to it, they also led a campaign against soft drinks, or they're talking about the unhealthiness of soft drinks. But their emails between the mayor's office and the people who got the grant, trying to decide which council member's district they should put more effort into because they needed the votes, and it was all timed for the vote before the Philadelphia City Council. So it's obviously against the law. And we want them to go back and to give us an accounting for everything that they've done. And the thing about the stimulus money, if you even beside what we're talking about in this way, is that stimulus money, most people thought, and I'm not one that thinks you can spin your way to prosperity, but even if you think that way, that spending money lobbying state governments on health issues is not a way to grow the economy, if that's where you believe the stimulus money should have been spent. Another example of misspent stimulus money.
All right, Congressman Brett Guthrie, keep us updated if you hear back on that investigation. We'd love to know more.
Thank you so
much.
We would love to do that. We sure will. Thank you very much.
All right, and we did reach out to